Good morning, citizens, and welcome back to the verse. This is a short series that I'm doing. I am only going to be recording these videos in this series until the end of the month, so only about 2 weeks more, and then they'll be done. After that, I will not be recording anymore. The reason why, and if you've already seen this, do not think that you are watching the same video again. Is that I'm putting a little bit of a disclaimer at the beginning of the video, just kind of letting people know what these videos are out. These are a series that I'm recording during the Survive or Die, or Supply or Die, I almost said Survive or Die, playthrough of me just going and getting the resources non-compatitively. So if I'm going to be doing something like mining or salvage, I'm not going to be doing the debt chain, and as I do them, I just talk about different things that are happening in the verse, whether that is kind of the hot topics or the topics I don't really bring up or really have any place to put in any other videos. So going through these, if you have anything that you want to add to these videos, if you have anything that you want to say about what I talk about, any points that you want to make one way or the other that I could read and maybe respond to, as well as maybe talk about in a future video, or if there's any topic that you would like me to talk about. These are the times for me just to kind of chit-chat about one subject each time that I'm going out and getting some supply. So each mining run, each salvage run, I'm trying to keep these videos about 20 minutes maximum. They might be a few minutes longer than that, but they're going to keep it around that length. So without further ado, let's get into this current episode of Supply or Die, mining and salvage runs. And we're going to try something new today called our MISC prospector. Hopefully this shows up without being glitched through the floor. We're going to try something which I have known about for a while and in various ways has been possible, which is increasing the size of the MISC prospector. Now, the old way that always worked was to take the Argo Mole bags and put them on the prospector. That's currently working now. If you can get Argo Mole bags, but if you buy them, those bags themselves are kind of glitched out and don't appear on the cargo grid correctly in the elevators. You can use a an atlas and a box to kind of glitch those out, but I'm not going to bother doing that. We're just going to use the standard prospector here, and I'm going to show you how, although I'm sure by now you've seen, how to increase the prospector size. So you need to unlock them. So we're going to get into our seat. There we go. The entrance point for this prospector has always been kind of wonky and kind of weird. Now this unfortunately won't work on the new golem that's coming out, but we're going to work on it here. So we're going to unlock our ports, because you can see here we have 32 SU, standard prospector size. Now this is not the original size of the prospector. It was actually much larger, with the idea that you can like put bags out sequentially. So you drop them off and put more out. So we're gonna go here. Ports unlock. Right, okay, it says there. So I couldn't remember what it is, but there you go. So you can see at the top of the screen here, it says, "Oop, ship ports unlocked." So that means that we can now take things off. This is how you can take off guns. This is how you can take off the mining head. This is how you can take off the bag. So that is done, and we're going to come over here. We're going to take them off. Now there is kind of a two-parter already in place for how this will work. Why? There we go. Weird. Okay. The ability to drop your bags and put new bags out isn't put in yet, but we do have, if I pull this ore pod off, we do have the spare ore pods already in place. They just don't expand. So we're going to take both of these off here. And now we're going to take the ore pod that is up there, which has not been expanded yet, off. And we're just going to chuck them away. Both of them, no problem. Off they go. And then we're going to snap the old ore pods back on. But we're going to try to get them... Oh, see for a split second? There we go. See how it's higher, lower, higher. Put it in the higher place so that the bottom of the ore pod should be in line with the bracket. So not there. Oh, we're kind of on a weird angle now. The first one went in so smooth. So that's too low. Oh, there we go. So now they are both higher. We've taken out the weird one. I'm going to take this gun off because by getting rid of this gun, we're going to have to repair the ship. Now, I could throw that gun into a cargo elevator and store it so I don't lose it, but I'm not that concerned. We're going to make enough money on this event to buy new guns to pay for the repairs. But we're just going to chuck this off here, off to the side, chuck this one off to the side. Both sides. If your ship has a little bit of damage on it, you don't need to pull off a gun, but just to confirm that I'll need a repair, that's why I did that. And, oh, there we go. Look at that. That snapped on really easy. So now, pretty much we're done. We just need to pay a little bit of money to upgrade our prospector. So I'm going to talk about how I feel about stuff like that. Glitches and kind of using them to get by certain mechanics. At the same time, the event is probably ending soon. It is Saturday when I'm doing this, and so I think maybe like Monday, which is like the 24th, maybe the new patch will be out. I doubt it, but possible. See, we're at 32 SU there. So we're going to go into landing services. No, there we go. And repair, 8.4K. Wait for this to be done. And you can see now we have like this weird ghosting double bags on each side. So 8 bags as opposed to the regular 4. And we're up to 64 SU. If we were using the Argo Mole bags, that would be even more massive. But there we go. That is the glitch. And I'm going to talk a bit about how I feel. Make sure you turn your ports back on, lock them back in. About how I feel about glitches in the game. Not only this one, but glitches in general. So I'm going to go find some stuff to mine, and when we mine it, I will do some talking. I think what I do is I'm just going to do filming mining and do a voiceover for while I talk about it so that I'm more concentrated on the actual mining. So when I find that, I will join you back at a mining location. So I've decided that I will record most of this audio after the fact, but I'm watching my video here and kind of just looking at what I was doing while I talk. But we're going to talk about glitches in the game, and I can kind of put those into a few different categories. One would be ones that entirely break the game. So if you're able to make yourself invisible or make yourself invincible, or even the ones that like gave you access to things in the game that you normally cannot have access to. So things like when people were glitching into the F8C before it was available, stuff like that. I'm going to put the other category being things like this, which are kind of changing some functionality of the ship. And then I'm going to talk about glitches that just really don't have any specific purpose in the game. And so how I feel about all of them. The first one I'm going to talk about is one that was happening a lot more recently, like the duping glitch, being able to make copies of specific things. And the argument people had with any glitch, with anything that's giving you something else, something extra, is that it shouldn't really matter because it's alpha. And so why does it matter, and why does CIG get upset? With things like the duping, people were not only copying the weapons that they have, that they lost on death, which at least with the new respawn mechanics isn't going to be an issue anymore, but they were also duping things like the keys for contested zones, or really rare weapons, or really expensive and rare components. And they were duping cargo. So they're able to make copies of whole ships full of expensive things like weevil eggs. Absolutely, I don't think that's right. And on any of my videos with any kind of glitch like that, I will not make a video on it. I won't really talk about it. I will never show how to do it. When I find out something like that exists, my thought is that it needs to go into the issue council and it needs to be fixed and dealt with because CAG needs to deal with that. They are game breaking because they are, in some cases, really affecting the game for other people. And any glitch that does that, any glitch that allows you to, right now I know there is one where you can become invincible by having a T-pose and still fight. There was one where it's happened to me a few times where I'm invisible and so people cannot see me and I'm able to fight. The problem with that one is I didn't know that I was. And so for that, when it was happening, and this was a while ago, this is probably about a year ago, people in chat would say, you're invisible. You got to relog to fix that. And when that was the case, what you should do is relog to fix it, not continue doing it and continue using that glitch because it's causing an issue that makes the game unplayable for other people. With the duping, the main issue was that it caused people just to tie up all the kiosks. Just like when there was the recycled material, when people were able to buy it, fill up C2s, basically double their cargo of a C2, and then tie up all the kiosks, made it for people like myself that like salvage. This is a really narrow bar that I'm mining here. So this is the one drawback of using the C3 modules, but if you know what you're doing, and on something like this with the tin ore, it's actually quite easy to still mine something. I just thought I'd point that out. But yeah, if you're a miner, if you're a salvager, and currently you're trying to do something that involves selling what you're doing, and other people are using a loophole to tie up those machines for other reasons, and you're not able to do that, or with the point of the RMC not being able to sell at all because people had stood there and sold thousands and thousands and thousands of SU of RMC, so to the point where legitimate salvagers couldn't sell their stuff. I do have an issue with that. With glitches that just basically made you look weird, changed like the size of your helmet. Those are weird things that need to be fixed, but they weren't game breaking, so I had no issues with those. And then we get into this one, the increasing the SU capacity of the prospector. And I'm actually okay with this one being used right now because it kind of is a potential future of how mining should work. I think right now CAG needs to get it together that you can take bags off a prospector, put them into another ship, or put them into a cargo elevator and refine them separately from the prospector. I also think you need to be able to take your mining jobs from a refinery and put them into the warehouses, and then from there put them back into your ship manually, so that you could decide out of all your jobs, get them all, and decide which parts are going into which ship or which location without having to unload them from a ship, which is what I've been doing. With the original idea of the prospector had bags, and for the longest time, Argo Mole bags have worked on a prospector. So you're able to take those bags, put them on a prospector, and use them, and increase your prospector size. This is really not that much different. What you should be able to do is have your prospector bags, fill them up, drop them, and fill up a new set of bags. Since we can't currently do that, I think that this isn't too bad. It is a little bit game breaking, but it does make it still a better mining ship than the new Golem that's coming out, because that one, as far as I know, there's no easy way to increase the size of the cargo. Although, I mean, you can buy extra Golem boxes and put them on, and I'm sure someone will find a way to increase the output of the Golem that way, but having it on a C2 makes it pretty much bigger than the Prospector when you're soloing. Overall, I think that's cool. I think it's fine. Now, there is something that you have to be aware of with this. Now, you see right here, I have 100% tin ore on this that I'm extracting and putting into my ship. If you are like me, and you don't have a lot of ships, you only have a few small ships, and you've normally been taking your prospector jobs, and you've been putting them onto your cutlass, and then taking that and selling it somewhere else, There will be an issue if you're not careful with something like this, where I'm filling up. You see here, tin ore, I'm up to 16 SU already. There is a limited amount of space on a cutlass, and you're going to have to go to a bigger ship like my Hull A in order to take these jobs. So you have to be aware. Now, I actually wasn't aware at the time when I'm doing this whether or not the Hull A really works for gathering refined materials, so I was willing to try that out. It does, but kind of wonky and glitchy. It's a glitch that's not glitch as in something that changes, but a glitch is in an error with the ship. When you put a job onto the Hull A, the spindles are open, like retracted, or not retracted, what's the opposite? The opposite of retracted, extended, but the little flaps, the cargo grids, are still folded up. And so the cargo's in a weird place on the ship when you take your cargo and put it onto there. I may put that into a different video because I am working on this right now. Because this is Saturday and I don't know when the event is done, I'm going to focus on getting as much tin and ice as possible over the weekend and just trying to get those items out so that I can get those paints. I'm currently sitting at about 400 points out of 2,800, so that's my plan. So overall, this is me just kind of doing a bit of mining, but I'm going to go on and kind of show a little bit more about using these double bags and how that works. So I'm going to jump to another video. So here we are breaking up probably my last little job here. So this did quite well. Now you notice I have 0.05 SU of barrel. I don't know how, since I was only ever extracting 100% tin ore, like this piece here, but somehow barrel 0.05 didn't show up on my scan, but it was in there. But we are going to get basically a full, pretty much 64 SU of tin on this. So again, if I only had the Cutlass Black as my other main ship, I would definitely need to rent a bigger ship in order to refine this, because I couldn't extract that refinery job currently from the refineries. If you're selling direct to the, there we go, look at it, 64 full, 63.94, so we are full. If you are selling directly to the refineries and you're just finding stuff and selling it, finding stuff and selling it, no problem. You can have this. You could even use the Argo mole bags if you can find someone and get you those, and you can really sell a lot at one time. I think that's cool. I think that is a good way to make money using the prospector. Another reason why I'm actually kind of okay with this as a glitch is, unlike duping, where you're just taking something and making copy after copy after copy after copy, you are still going out and mining. You're still going out and getting the goods and having to fill up your prospector and fly back. It's kind of like the fact that sometimes, and if you look at the Quantanium fuel right now here, I have 1.75 million Quantanium. Sometimes the Quantanium fuel isn't going down while you're flying. It's not something I'm purposely doing, but it happens, and I'm kind of okay with that because it allows me to mine a bit more. But we are just kind of taking all our good here. We're going to bring it to Checkmate, and I'm going to put it in the refinery. And overall, I think that's pretty good. But I'm going to keep this a really short video, I think. I'm not going to go on too much longer. I'll maybe kind of show my last refinery job, how much it's going to cost to refine this and how long it's going to take. But I think I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to work really hard on getting this event done. My next video will be whether or not I manage to get it done before the end of this event. And after that, hopefully, that means the new patch is coming out soon, and I know there's some changes to rock mining, there's changes to regular mining, there is the new Banu, which I have avoided pretty much everything about as far as news. We're going to get into that, and we're going to talk about maybe whether or not I should get the Atlas Geo, or what I think about the new Drake mining ship. Alright, we got Turbo Wolf and Tactical Emu and McDude and a Feeble Child and a random ship DU8802LF. There's a lot of people around here in this section, but you can see them and you can't see the station. So if you can't see the station because it's so dark, just hit tab and that will kind of show you what you're doing. I'm letting you know here that I quickly watched the next 2 parts of this video. I recorded 5 parts. Part 5, I actually did end up talking a lot more than I thought I would. So I'm going to repeat myself a bit there, but until then, I'm just going to kind of come in for a landing here. And I thought I would just let you know that that part is pre-recorded before this part. So I'm going to say a lot of stuff that I probably have already said. That looks cool. I mean, as much as it annoys me to come out of the fog, it does look pretty cool to suddenly see all that space there. There's a miner heading out. I think that was a mole, wasn't it? So we're going to find our landing here. I can never right away remember if I'm at the top or bottom on the station, but at least I haven't flown in any guy wires after that last time. So we'll come in for a landing here. Although there's a ton of people around, relatively safe at the moment. There has been a lot of attacks during this event, but this day was not one of them. So coming for a landing, we're going to store our ship, and then I'm going to repeat myself. Or I guess I've already repeated myself, depending on how you want to look at this linearly as far as time is involved. Always refill your Quantanium before you leave so that you don't forget and fly away like I have done many, many times. Just like putting your landing gear down and forgetting and smashing into the ground. So we're going to get out here. We're going to head to the refinery where I will have, in the past, talked about some stuff that I've already talked about. So this is a thing that you have to remember by using the trick of doubling up your prospector bags. That is that you will have to take the refinery jobs and put them into one of your ships before you can either bring them somewhere else or unload them into the local cargo area. Now the biggest ship I currently have, and I know I could rent something bigger, I do have the Hull A, but I currently here have the Cutlass Black, which is a 46 SU. So, I might have to move to a different one if this processing doesn't work. But we see here we have our tin ore, we have 63, but I can only do 46. Now if I use my favorite Dinix solution and get a quote, that's going to give us 54, not the 46. So we have to look through here, look at something that is lower yield, moderate cost. Let's see what that is. Fairly high speed. That's going to give us 38. So let's go something a bit better than lower yield. High yield will be too much. Moderate yield, high cost, no thank you. What do we have for moderate costs? Moderate yield, moderate speed, electrolysis. Got a quote here. 46.2. It's going to be cutting it close, but if it doesn't fit into the Cutlass, then I'll be able to put it into the Hull or rent something. So we're going to do that. 3 hours and 54 minutes. Confirm, confirm. That's what we'll do, and we'll get our goods that way. I'm pretty sure the Cutlass is 46. Let's double check that. If it's 48, then we're good to go. So we're going to go back to our... Not our hangar. We're going to go... Well, actually, we can go to the hangar. That'll work. Let's go to the medium hangar because the Cutlass will not fit in the small hangar, so we won't be able to pull it up there. Otherwise, I could have went to the entrance and just checked the size there. We're at the small. Bring us to the medium. Wait for these doors to maybe open up. And if we look at our Cutlass, 46. So that might fit in. If not, we're going to have to be sure next time to make sure that we are under 46 when we refine. But if push comes to shove, we'll just get another ship to put that stuff in. But that's something to be aware of. If you only have a certain size ship, maybe making larger bags isn't worth it for you to refine. You could still sell what you find and make quite a bit of money. But there we are. Not bad. A glitch that I'm okay with. Some I'm not, some I am. This one, because it kind of makes sense, at least in how eventually the prospector, if you could unload bags and throw them into another ship or to a cargo ship or find them from there, it's making it more utilitarian, but still not overpowered. And you're still having to do the work. You're still having to go and actually mine the goods, and that's why I'm okay with it. So until next time, I hope to see you all soon in the verse. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Goodbye.